champions of all time.
At 20 years old, Mike Tyson was already a world champion. At 21, he had a net worth of $50 million. The boy who had lost his mother, father, and the trainer who had adopted him a few years ago was wandering the world with $50 million and didn't know what to do with so much fame. He was one of the most famous athletes in the world, and what could come in his life were crazy things that could only happen to specific men in the world. To few men, I would say. Putting yourself in Mike Tyson's shoes is like living on a roller coaster where speed can take you so high, where you can experience the most iconic moments of euphoria, but from one moment to another, it can take you to the lowest point, making you think that it's better not to be alive on this Mike Tyson roller coaster. Special travelers couldn't be missing in Mike's life. Women. They played a leading role in Mike's life, and 3 of them marked him forever. 1 almost killed him, and the 3rd saved his life. This is the story of Mike Tyson's women. Michael Gerard was born in New York on June 30th, 1966. Few know him by his given name, so we'll call him by the name we all know him by, Mike Tyson. He had a tough childhood that could be summed up in one word: tumultuous. His father never took care of his upbringing. His mother had drug problems, and he quickly learned to fight. He had many street problems, and the boy who was bullied by everyone would become a little man who wanted to fight everyone, taking advantage of the skills he had for fighting and stealing. He became an expert thief, and the police caught him on many occasions. Mike ended up in juvenile reformatories and served sentences. He didn't have a stable home. So with this whole panorama, the only thing we could say about Mike is that he had many emotional problems. It was evident that he lacked affection, and the only man who extended his hand to him was his trainer, Cus D'Amato. He practically saved his life. He wanted to shape a beast, and he had found a kid who had all the qualities to become one. Tyson had his first professional fight on March 6, 1985. In that same year, the only man who had extended his hand and whom Mike had taken as a surrogate father died in November, so he no longer had a mature man to guide him.
You just met me. I'm a little kid. He said, you'll be the world champ.
I can explain it. It's a magnificent individual.
However, Mike continued to fight and eventually won the world title on November 22, 1986 against Trevor Berg. Mike became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. But the worst part was that this was just the beginning. The great news of becoming a world champion brought him a lot of money. He was a spectacular fighter who caught the world's attention. Mike Tyson had many emotional problems, and at 20 years old, all he probably wanted was to fill them. A few months after becoming a world champion, he met a girl named Robin Givens. Givens was a girl who was approximately 2 years older than Mike. The famous TV girl was marrying the guy who, a few years ago, was an abandoned kid, but who now had a lot of money. Givens already had a lot of experience in television. Iron Mike would easily fall into Givens' arms. So the two got married on February 7, 1988. The courtship had lasted less than a year, and at that point, Tyson had a fortune of $50 million. It is believed that there is a prenuptial agreement, but apparently, it didn't protect Tyson's assets as much as he thought. The marriage between Tyson and Givens quickly became a media sensation, with rumors of abuse and manipulation circulating. Tyson's life became a whirlwind of controversy and drama. In 1989, Givens filed for divorce, and their marriage officially ended. The divorce proceedings were messy in public, with Givens appearing on television and discussing the alleged abuse she had endured.
Does he hit you?
He shakes, he pushes, he swings.
It got to the point where I really believed I was going to die.
Tyson allegedly found Givens in bed with another celebrity called Brad Pitt close to the time, but Tyson's reputation took a hit.
Drives up with the handsome Brad Pitt. I said, oh man, I ain't gonna get no pussy.
And he faced legal and financial consequences. After the divorce, Tyson found solace in the company of other women. He became involved with Desiree Washington, a Miss Black America contestant. In 1991, Tyson invited Washington to his hotel room, where an incident occurred that would change both of their lives forever. Washington accused Tyson of raping her, leading to a highly publicized trial. Tyson was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison. During his time in prison, Tyson reflected on his life and began to turn things around. He focused on his physical and mental well-being, rediscovering his passion for boxing. Tyson was released from prison in 1995 and returned to the boxing ring. Another influential woman in Tyson's life was his second wife, Monica Turner. They met in 1990 and got married in 1997. Turner, a physician, provided stability and support for Tyson during a challenging period of his life. However, their relationship faced its own difficulties, and they divorced in 2003. Tyson's love life took another turn when he met Lakeha Kiki Spicer. They had crossed paths years earlier, but it wasn't until 2002 that they reconnected and began a romantic relationship. Kiki became the third most important woman in Tyson's life and brought about positive changes. Tyson and Kiki married in 2009, and she became a pillar of support for him. Kiki helped Tyson find stability and happiness. They have 2 children together and have built a loving and stable family life. Tyson has continued to work on improving himself and rebuilding his life. He has spoken openly about his past mistakes and the lessons he has learned. Tyson is focused on personal growth, finding inner peace, and embracing his role as a husband and father.